Hello my friends, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to talk about the Next Level Racing GT Racer.
Next Level Racing already has some presence in the tubular frame market with the FGT and GT Track, but both are in a bit of a higher segment price-wise than the GT Racer. It has been difficult the last few years for them to compete with the GT Omega and Playseat products. On paper, the GT Racer with its specification has a very good chance of taking its place between the top of the market.
So for configuration, we will start off with the wheelbase, which can be tilted in different angles and can be put higher and lower. This is a bit special because tubular profiles in general, they don't allow a lot of configuration of the height of the steering wheel. And here you have 5 centimeters that you can move it up or down. So the arch that holds the wheelbase can be moved over the frame too, which is a necessity because the pedals, on the other hand, they cannot be moved at all. So if the wheelbase arch moves, then you can put the wheelbase closer to the pedals, and that eliminates the need to move the pedals themselves. The seat has seat rail, so you can just slide it closer to the pedals, about 10 centimeters that you can gain there. The seat also features inclination of the back, so that you can put it a bit straighter or a bit more laid back. Always nice that they incorporate this into their seats. Here it's no different. So in general, a really good configuration score for this GT Racer.
Looking at the compatibility for wheelbases and pedals, I would say it is compatible with all of them, or at least all the mainstream ones at this moment. I don't think there is another manufacturer offering this abundance of compatibility out there.
When it comes to build quality, I was really surprised with it because when I looked at it at the photos, I saw these really thin tubes. I really had like a doubt of if it was actually being sturdy. And well, I was pretty amazed with what I saw.
The wheelbase holder surprised me most. It should be wobbling with those small 2 cm diameter tubes, but it doesn't. This because instead of the standard 2 attachment points for the wheelbase holder, this one features 4, which has a significant impact on the sturdiness of the wheelbase holder itself. It held remarkably well in the test with my 8 Nm Fanatec direct drive. On the specifications, it says that it can hold wheelbases up to 13 Nm. And I don't see a reason why it wouldn't. The pedal place is fixed to the rest of the frame. A lot of flex is generated by the ability to configure the pedals, and by eliminating that ability, they made the pedal base very sturdy. It was able to handle my CSL Elite V2 pedals without much of a problem, and I can see it absolutely be used for a bit more heavy pedals too.
Of course, for build quality, I do have a few remarks, starting with the GT Racer plate that they attached to the front of the rig. It is attached with double-sided tape, and that's a big no-no for me. They should have attached it with some screws, some bolts in it. Now, a problem that I saw also was that when you brake heavy, you can lift the rig, and that is something that I also saw in some other rigs that I reviewed already. So that's a very big negative point. And yeah, well, it has to do with the attaching of the 2 parts. It's simply the tubes are so thin, and it's not attached far enough inside. Yeah, then you have this problem. So it just goes whoop all the time. When you brake heavily, and that's really no good. So the pedals are fixed into place. You cannot incline them, and well, this is not a problem for standard pedals of ITLCM pedals or the Fanatec pedals that I have, but this can be a problem for Camus LC100 pedals, for example, because you have those pedals that go straight up, while the other ones, they are inclined already a bit of themselves. So this is really an issue for me, that you cannot incline the pedal base.
The paint that is used is not very scratch resistant, and it will get some usage marks quite quickly. The fabric of the seat is a combination of a cheap fake leather and some knockoff Alcantara. It sits pretty comfortable, but I can see 2 problems with the usage of this fabric. When it gets a bit warmer, you will sweat a lot in this seat, and if you make stains on it, they won't be easy to remove. not like with normal Alcantara.
Something that I also find weird is that it is very, very snug. The back is very snug with the bolstering. It is not really made for the largest of people. I'm not that broad-shouldered guy, and I already had issues with fitting really well into this seat. I would have preferred that it would have been a bit wider.
While the fabric and snugness are things I could live with, there was one thing that I absolutely could not: the sound the seat makes when being used.
It simply is horrible. It squeaks, it squeaks, it squeaks. It's the worst squeaking seat that I have reviewed so far, and it really annoyed me a lot. If you drive with a headset on, a good headset, yeah, you won't hear it. But from the moment if you drive without headset, it is unbearable.
When it comes to features, you have the different logo and product prints all over the rig that are a very nice touch. As also with Next Level Racing, you get a decent shifter holder, a butt kicker holder, and enough bolts and nuts to open up your own hardware store. The ecosystem of Next Level Racing is also very decent for size, allowing you to plenty of extensions for their rigs. With 34 kilograms, this is not exactly a lightweight and much more heavy than I gave it credit for. The dimensions, especially in length, are also really surprising me. I had difficulties fitting the rig between the PC and my Lego collection. For width, it is about the same as with other rigs in this category. Its footprint and weight makes it relatively difficult to get it out of the way if needed.
Price is 400 euro. And that is, I think, my favorite topic for this seat. It is very cheap in comparison with the competition. 400 euro, I think it is pretty good bang for buck.
This pricing makes it about 100 euro less expensive than a GT Omega Art with a seat or a Playseat Trophy, which may sound very appealing for sim drivers on a budget. As a conclusion, well, if you look at performance and configuration for a price like this, it's hard not to like the seat. If the review of it would have stopped there, this would probably be the seat I would recommend for anyone looking to buy a rig in this segment. But it doesn't. I understand completely that for a price like that you need to make sacrifices. There are some things like the double-sided tape front board or the paint that I can live with when it comes to sacrifices. But there is just one big flaw that is so crucial for me that I simply cannot get over: the seating area. It's not the first time either that I have this remark for Next Level Racing rigs. It's like they focus too much on their rigs being configurable and sturdy that they forgot about the importance of a decent quality seating area. For myself, I would gladly pay 100 euro more for a seating area that is more comfortable and of better quality. It might sound harsh, but the competition has designed some pretty decent hardware, and to belong to the top, Next Level Racing will just have to do better. That being said, while it does not belong to the top, it does its best to belong to the sub-top, just like the Next Level Racing FGT.
Thank you all for watching. I hope you had something from this video. Leave me a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more reviews, more versus videos, and I will see you all next video. Bye bye.